yes.
Yeah.
I should tell one
I
thing.
get more quality probably.
Just, you could get someone else to, because if you're presenting to people, it makes the thing look less valuable because if you find faults in the words and so.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that's not sorted out. Okay, from what our experience with fuel cell, with solar panels, they rarely produce what they say they're going to. They say that you can get 18% out of a very good solar panel. In practice, in real life, that never seems to work.
Right, sir.
Have you actually?
Yes, sir. That was I was trying to tell you because I have compared with the traditional solar cell.
Yeah.
I have got a solar cell. I should show you this one. This one. I was comparing with this kind of solar cell with my panel. So what I was getting in that hazy day and in that cloudy day, 19 volt from this solar panel. So the rated was, the nominal was 12 volt. So it was clearly showing that I'm getting more than 12 volt. But when I measured the area, it was like. I should stop.
No, you carry on.
So the area was 0.34 meters square. The total area was 0.1592 meters square. So I have calculated like we can put 12 of my solar cell with the Fresnel lens in this area. So what I was getting from this panel is 19 volt. But if I calculate it and if I compare it with the results I'm getting from outside, it was like I can get from 34 to 39 volt. I was unable to measure the current because this solar cell has very bad connectivity. So I was not able to calculate the current. But still, the voltage was 19 volt from this panel, and I am getting 34 to 38 maximum.
Yeah. Okay. When you use Fresnel lenses, because it doesn't just magnify the light, it magnifies the heat as well. Is there any issues about temperature?
Yes. Sorry, I forgot to put in my further work section because I was checking it from 10 to 2 p.m., 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So the voltage difference was not so high, like 2.2 to 2.1, maybe 2, but not so far. Higher. But I will be using a heat sink under the solar cell in future to decrease if their temperature is any issue, then I can deal with that issue.
See, even the colour you painted there.
Yes.
Why didn't you choose black?
There was no reason. I was trying to make it.
You realise black might.
Yes, absolutely. Heat, much more heat. This is a process I will use it in future to make it more.
So yeah, you might want to
yes.
light colour.
Yes, thank you very much for that.
Okay.
Sorry.
Do you have any question? You said 5%. You get 5% loss.
Yes, sir.
Out of this system.
Right, sir.
Compared to 25%.
20 to 25.
Okay, I accept that. Yeah. But my question is, why do you think
Of course,
you are growing 5% compared to 25% standard?
Yes, when the company send you the data, okay, you are going to get like 5% heat loss from our solar cell. So this question comes to my mind: why it happened? Because the cell size, as this is small, there will be less heat loss. This is the area, right?
Okay, you nailed it. And I know for a fact I didn't tell you that. So what is really the significance of the solar concentration ratio in this case then?
I didn't get that question.
What do you think?
Yes.
Because you're concentrating
Yes.
light over your small cells. What do you think is the relative size of the aperture of the concentrator to the receiver?
Oh, I was calculating that also because the total area is like 0.032 meters square. As the sun, when the sun comes to the Fresnel lens, it will be magnifying like a small point of the solar cell. The total area of the solar cell is 5.59 multiplied by 6.8. 5 sort of kind of. So there will be if the solar cell is in a square shape, the sun concentrated will be in the center. So I was calculating, I was getting around 120 watt per meter square, area.
So if you make the aperture bigger, what is the likelihood of your solar concentration?
That's
going
why,
up or it goes down?
That's why I'm trying to use different kinds of Fresnel lens, but from the results, practical results, I'm not getting much more differences. But as the aperture, the area is bigger here rather than this one, it should get much more light rather than this one. So it will be another another option for me to analyze in future. What's the differences? Because if you use 75 millimeter, the size will be decreased. The whole panel will be like small. So it will be another work for me, as I'm not getting much more.
Yeah, but basically I want kind of an answer. Do you think the solar concentration is improving as you enlarge the aperture area, or the other way around?
Yeah, it should be.
When you take those little tiny panels,
Yes.
do you put hundreds of them onto an area to make a big panel?
When I'm going to do that?
Well, I'm just saying, if you're using them in the real world,
Yes.
so although they're tiny and produce, so do you make a panel as big as the solar panel we have now?
Yes,
but
that's
with
why.
hundreds of those on.
Yes, that's why. When I'm comparing like 1 meter square area, I can put like 64 solar cell. This kind of solar cell with the Fresnel lens. So I'm not planning to put much solar cell in a big area. I'm planning to do in a small area, put as much as we can and getting much more energy from that previous area. That was my plan. In my opinion, it's not a worthy thing to put lots of solar cell in a big area, because the advantages was space consuming. So it's not a good idea to use the same space.
Yes, my question would be is, if you have a roof and you've got a set size panel, and that limits how much you can get out from the sun. So if you've got these little ones, would you put the same size overall panel with hundreds of these, just so that what you want is more electricity for your
Yeah,
size
for
of
my
panel?
house. The price will be here a big matter, because I have to consider about the price. So in my if I am going to do, I will not use the exact previous size. I will make it smaller.
That works fine if you're going into space and you've got a light payload and things like that. But on Earth, where we've got space,
Yes.
admittedly we don't want to cover the whole desert with them.
Right.
But it seems to me that if they're more efficient, you can get a lot of them. Because all I care about is I've got size of roof, and that tends to limit how much I can get out from the sun.
Right.
That's my roof
The
size,
area,
you know.
yes, sir.
Whereas if I put a lot more of those, so it fills the same size,
And it will
I
get
can
much more energy.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that makes it worthwhile. But it will be again that much more expensive, I think.
Right. So the expense, price will be a big matter here, because it's €2 or €5. Maybe with the board, they say that it will be maximum 10 to 15 euro with the circuit board. So the price will be a big matter here. If the price is more cheaper than 10 to 15 euro,
Less expensive.
right, sir. Less expensive.
Yeah.
I think that there is a lot of interest in this,
Oh, yeah,
because
yeah.
the 35% efficiency compared to 15% efficiency.
Right, sir.
Yeah.
That is solely because of the loss that we are
because-
minimizing.
right, sir.
So my question is really, where do you think the application of this would eventually lead to?
Mainly for the industrial. What I was thinking when I'm doing this project, in my country the electricity is really a big problem. So there are lots of land. If government give a big land, and we can put a big plant of solar cell, lots of solar cell, and we can give current and electricity to certain area, especially a small village,
Yeah.
because there is no current there. So I can produce energy from that plant.
One other thing I would suggest is that I know that you are doing this, right now, but you must convert these data into graphical representation.
Right, I
So you
will.
can actually see the maximum power point
Right, so I'm doing.
under various conditions.
Right, so you're talking about the IV curve.
And that's right,
Right,
yes.
so I'm doing on that in my
I keep
thesis
asking
paper.
you that.
In my-
I'm expecting to see some of that today,
Of course.
so that, you know, because
Yes.
data, okay, but graphical is easier to see,
Yes.
highest performing.
Yes.
Any more questions? Well done, thank you.
Thank you very much for the time.